live with Dragon. Back with another video, okay? We are doing mindset and mental discipline. If you've been following along the channel, I've been trying to showcase different exercises, mobility work, but I haven't touched on the whole mindset necessary to get over serious injury. And it can apply to herniated disc. It could apply to vices that you currently have in your life. Ultimately, what I want you to consider in this video is I want you to think about taking an inventory of your current life, okay? Pre-injury, that may have also led to the injury taking place. And I'll use myself as a reference point, and I'll also use some certain, Facebook groups that I'm involved with, or just messaging boards, even the YouTube itself, comments. I see a reoccurring theme that I'm trying to wrap my head around, but at the same time, I think it's good because you get a consensus of where people are maybe getting stalled in their progress, and that's why I'm making this video here today. It's not just physical, guys. I wish I could tell you that it was just physical, and if you just do what you need to do, you're going to get to the end game. There is a mental component to you guys healing as fast as you possibly can. And when I say take an inventory, what I'm saying is think about what happened as you led up to your injury, okay? For instance, were you overweight at the time? Were you exercises? Were you training at the time? Okay. Did you have an active weight regimen, or have you been immersed in work, or maybe immersed in a social life that was not advantageous to a healthy and energy fueled existence? Okay. I'm not saying that you need to be a saint. I'm just telling you, start thinking about what led up to the injury and may have caused it, or was a contributing factor that has now caused it. Alcohol usage, drug usage, nicotine usage, okay? Are we ignoring certain facets? An important one that I see consistently as an online coach is recovery, right? We are constantly asked to stretch ourselves thin on multiple fronts, and the first thing that typically goes is your sleep. Sleep is very important for recovery. I think there's a statistic, I don't even want to quote the statistic. Let's just say that theoretically, if sleep is compromised, the chance of getting hurt is accelerated by an astronomical amount of percentages. So take that in consideration. Using myself as maybe an example, right, would be, I was coming off a post-show rebound. For those of you that don't, are not involved in bodybuilding, you diet for, upwards of 20 plus weeks. You get shredded, 5% body fat. And then afterwards, your ability to process food is insanely enhanced, okay? So your weight can go up, it can skyrocket. It can either be good weight, bad weight. At the end of the day, it's weight, okay? And some guys use that to kind of propel muscle growth. Some conflicting evidence on it, but I mean, at the end of the day, mass moves mass. So the bigger you are, theoretically, the more tissue you can eventually put on. So I went from a shredded 212 pounds to eventually working my way up over the course of, I don't know, let's say 3 or 4 months up to 260 pounds. Okay. So that's a lot of weight to put on, and a lot of adjustments that need to be made in terms of like the fabrics of how you do everything. My leverages were all off. My sleep was weird. Breathing was inhibited, and mobility took a big hit. Now, just that alone is a big determining factor of maybe why I got injured in the first place. Now, combine that with the fact of having a child, right? And, again, not proper planning on my part for sure, but sleep was absolutely negligible at best. So working full time, pushing myself in the gym as hard as I possibly can so I can get this professional status, having a child, trying to balance being a first-time father. All of those was a perfect cocktail of me getting injured. When I took that and I processed that, I'm like, okay, so what do I need to do to heal as fast as possible? I need to assure that I get as much sleep as humanly possible. So what that looked like for me was making work adjustments, okay? Taking my business online and then prioritizing sleep and longevity, or maybe prioritizing pockets of sleep where I know I could sleep that wouldn't interfere with the baby's sleep. Weight, I had to do something about the weight. I had to drop the weight substantially so I was taking pressure off my spine. This is the process that I want, the viewers to start thinking about for themselves. It's not going to be exactly my story, but your story in some way, shape, or form is going to have similarities that could have led to you getting injured, okay? Once afterwards, you stop the pity party of being like, why me? Why me? Why am I in so much pain? That's when the opportunity for you to overcome this injury comes into play. The harder you work at basically creating a structure that you can adhere to, and also a structure that probably is beneficial to your life and longevity on this planet, whether it's removing of some alcohol, whether it's removing of nicotine products, maybe kicking out some junk food that you know that you typically have. Maybe it's having too many beers on the weekend for Sunday football. You will be better for it. You will have a much stronger mental discipline. And once you continue to see progress in the disc healing itself, that progress, that discipline can then be enrolled into further facets of your life, whether it's continued training, whether that's doing something with a marathon, maybe it's mental discipline, maybe you want to go on like a retreat or something. All of those things are good things. Constantly we are distracted with social media, TV, everything. I think that when we start looking within, that's where the true meaning of where we can eventually cascade ourselves up to and grow in all new shapes and sizes. Okay. So that is my video on mindset and mental discipline. As always, if you guys comments, questions, concerns, feel free to attach them in the video. Dragon is here for you, and Dragon is aus.